Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sequel Show. I'm your host, Sequel's Hater Nation. With me as always, Hank and Bruce, snuggling in behind. Couldn't be more happy to be here. We got playoffs, baby. What an exciting time. Haters finally playing some relevant football again. So excited. Hank's never seen it. So everybody around here is just very excited. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about my matchup this week with the great McLond. Not the first time we've met in the playoffs. The last time was 2009, and if you guys don't know about that season and about that matchup, not only extraordinarily important for Haters history, but what a relevant and important matchup in the history of Sequel. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about that today in the little segment we like to call Know Your Sequel History.
Know Your Sequel History.
So here we are at the end of the 2009 season, and tight standings, very similar to this year. I mean, 6 and 7 teams didn't make it. Everyone was so tight. 3 teams at 8 and 5, 3 teams at 7 and 6, 1 at 9 and 4. That's how it finished. But coming into this final week, something extremely interesting. And those managers had other words for it, but very interesting. Something happened right at the end here. Now, McLond coming in, having a fantastic year, 941 points. He's in second place as far as the Betty Bound is concerned. Of course, hadn't been invented yet. But anyways, he's coming in as a strong team, and he's got a matchup against the Darth Raiders in the final week of the season. And here's the layout for this match. Darth wins, he's first overall. McLond wins, he gets the second, and the Wheat Kings gets the first. Big matchup, flops things all over the place. So they're playing it out, and the Sunday goes through, and everything's nice and close. There's a bunch of matchups really close. And then McLond does something that was almost bewildering at the time. Going into the Monday night game, the Packers are playing Baltimore, I believe, and McLond, and I've seen it done before where you're winning your matchup and your opponent has nobody left, so you say, well, I don't want to risk it, I'm just going to bench a guy, take the win, and move on, and that's perfectly okay. Well, in this case, McLond decides, hey, I'm going to bench Donald Driver, wide receiver for the Packers, but he was losing. He was losing to Darth, and he decided, I'm going to bench the Donald Driver. Now, why in the hell would he do this? Well, McLond goes ahead and he does this little bit of math. Now, you got this Hippo team, and this Hippo team back then, pretty strong, over 1,000 points, Betty Bound the winner, but not in first place, no possibility of getting first place, but a strong team as usual. Are you that afraid? Anyways, McLond decides to do a little math, and he looks at it and he says, well, if I win this matchup against Darth, and I take the second seed, there is a chance with a Hippos loss or a Bandits win that I'm going to play the Hippos in the first round. And then he looked at it the other way, and he decided, well, if I lose this matchup on purpose, there is 0% chance that I'm going to play the Hippo. That, to me, seems like the smartest idea. That's what I'm going to do. So there he is, benching Donald Driver on the Monday night, taking the cowardly way out just to not play the Hippo, which, for the first time in history, trying to make a matchup, it's been the last time in history it's ever happened. Unbelievable, decides to lose on purpose. Some managers had some things to say. I myself had some things to say. Hippos, Bandits, everyone going after this guy. Unbelievable. The cowardice of this move. Couldn't wrap our heads around it. So what happens? Of course, McLond loses on purpose. Darth takes the victory. McLond moves all the way down. Here's the thing. Could have been second. Ends up in 6th. That's how close these standings were at the time. So 6 plays to 3. Well, who comes into that third spot? None other than yours truly. And I got to tell you, the support that I felt from every other manager in the league, and just the pure pride that I had just knowing and the pressure that I had to beat this guy, losing on purpose was not acceptable, was never going to be acceptable. And if this plan had worked out, my God, who knows what kind of monster we would have opened. And haters go in and just tears them apart, puts them down. And if you ever hear me refer to the curse of Donald Driver, it was because of that. As long as this guy has a Packer on his team, there's no way this guy's winning a championship. And obviously, I hope that holds true again today. Best of luck to you, McLawn, but not really. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's the story of the curse of Donald Driver, the 2009 season. We'll be right back.
Cheers, Seco. For all the managers that made the fantasy playoffs, congratulations. Let's have a drink. For those who didn't, have a drink.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, here at the Sequel Show, we're not afraid to tackle the tough topics. Now, forget football, forget sports. Across the entire planet, one of the most controversial topics is being gay. Now, let me start by saying, here at the Sequel Show, the LGBT community is treated just as equally as any other group. There's plenty of hate here for everybody. And in a Donald Trump's America, I mean, the rednecks down there voting this guy in, kind of what I would really think they deserve is for some of their NFL heroes, these guys that they idolize, to turn out to be everything that they disgust and hate. My goodness, would it be sweet justice. So here at the Sequel Show, we'll make a little bit of light of it, but what we like is we would like a superstar athlete to come out and just say, I'm gay. And it hasn't happened yet. We know there are gay athletes. We know that in NFL there has been, that there is now, that there will be in the future. It's just nobody has ever come out and said it. And I think that community needs that hero. I think America needs that shock to the system. I've always said it. And what we'd like to do is a little segment now, because in Sequel, we want to make a warm nest for them to come in, and it's okay. So here we go now. We're going to make a little bit of light of it, but a very serious topic. It's going to happen one day, and you're going to hear it first on the Sequel Show. So right now, let's roll the thing. We call this one Under Homo Suspicion.
He's a homo.
So let me give you a little history here. Back a few years back, I did a little essay, if you will. I had this player on my team, Vernon Davis, tight end, San Francisco, and my goodness, what a year he was having. 13 touchdowns that year for the haters. Solid guy. So I'm following this guy, and I see an interview, and I think something a little bit off about this guy. So I did a little research, and I went through on the internet thing, and I found out that, okay, number one, plays for San Francisco. Okay, that's all right. It could happen anywhere, anybody, whatever. Then I do a little more research. Not married, which is fine. And as a star athlete in a big city, an NFL star, you have to go to certain events, charity things, etc. And I looked it up, and the dates that he's bringing to these things are like B-rated actresses, like people from Dancing with the Stars or Survivor or whatever. Never the same one. Always very safe dates. And then I found out that in his off time, when not playing the football with the 49ers, he owned his own art gallery in San Francisco. So because of those facts, we put Vernon Davis under the homo suspicion. We wanted Vernon to come out. Come on out, Vernon, be the first. He didn't do it. Still playing football now with Washington, but no longer a superstar. No longer relevant. And then just a couple years ago, you have the Michael Sam, who wasn't even in the NFL, was going into the draft. He says, hey, I'm gay, pick me, take me. somebody finally did. It turns out he's not really that good. So what we think is that we need an absolute superstar to be the representative for the gay community in the NFL. And so here I am watching the Thanksgiving Thursday football, sitting there with the Bandit. We're watching the Dallas Cowboys, and what a great performance by their running back, Ezekiel Elliott, running all over the league this year, leading rusher, unbelievable talent, rookie talent. And the game's over, they win the game, and then they come out for the interview. And if you didn't see it, ladies and gentlemen, here's the attire that young Ezekiel Elliott decided, superstar Ezekiel Elliott decided to wear on national television with millions of people watching on Thanksgiving. I mean, what else do you need? There's your golden child, gay community, and I'm looking around on the internet, and the media's not picking up on this. I don't know, in their own homophobic minds, they can't see it, or they don't want to see it. But I mean, come on, man. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ezekiel Elliott is my hope for this gay community. Come on out. Come on, just come out to SEKL. Come out to us. We're here for you. We're here to support you. My goodness, it would be about time. We'll be right back.
Move the can, no?
Look at the fucking teacher.
No, just look at the sober person, I think is the...
This is what I think of you and all your championship dreams. As I sit here with my ring, watching your beloved DeLorean.
I think it's gonna go out.
Yeah, the dwindles and fucking...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to go. Thanks for tuning in, and best of luck to all of you in the playoffs. Best of luck to you guys down there in the Toilet Bowl tournament. We'll see you next week, and of course, as usual, don't pick a kicker.